Alright. Imagine yourself walking through a cave. The sound of dripping water, in your footsteps fill the space. You then hear a distinct hissing sound. You turn and see a massive spider coming towards you. It spits venom in your direction, but you quickly block with your shield. You then retaliate with a fireball, incinerating the spider. You try to collect your thoughts, but then you suddenly hear more and more hissing. You turn and see hundreds and hundreds of massive spiders coming towards you. You brace yourself for the fight of your life. That, my friends, is what it feels like in Skyrim, where you have to fight for your life. Today, I'm going to explain to you, introduce you to Skyrim, and why is it so highly reviewed. So first, let's talk about the story of Skyrim. The story of Skyrim takes place, well, in Skyrim, where everything is peaceful, but suddenly dragons start coming out of nowhere. And you, the main character, discover that you are the Dragonborn, a being who is half dragon and half, well, human. Well, it's supposed to be. And it's up to you to use your newfound powers to defeat. Oh, sorry. There we go. Skyrim. And it's up to you and your newfound powers to defeat all Alduin, the World Eater, who is prophesied to destroy the world. So in the world of Skyrim, you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want to be. It's up to you, and you choose who you want to be. An executive editor from Game Informer stated that if you like just to do side missions instead of doing the main story, you can actually do that. In Skyrim, you can do whatever you want. So now let's talk about your character, the dragon. Oh, here's Skyrim, like the map and everything. So let's talk about your main character and the species you can pick from it. From here, you can see there are different species in Skyrim, but I selected 3 for you. On the top, you see a lizard person. They're known as Argonians, lizard people. If you happen to choose an Argonian, you have a high skill set of lockpicking. So basically, Argonians are good thieves. They have a high lockpick skill to unlock doors and chests. Plus, if you pick an Argonian, you can breathe underwater, and you have a high stamina. And then this cat-looking person is a Khajiit, a cat person. They're pretty much the assassins of Skyrim. If you pick a Khajiit race, you have a high chance of sneak, which pretty much no one can pretty much see you, and you have high attack with your claws. So pretty much you scratch their eyes out with your claws. And the last one, Orc, where basically if you pick an Orc class, you have a high forge ability, meaning you can build weapons and craft items pretty easy. Plus, they have a unique skill called Preserve, where for 1 solid minute, you take less damage, but you deal a double damage. And in Skyrim, you're gonna meet multiple creatures, but the most rare ones and better ones are such as the vampire and werewolf. But these creatures are stopped by the Dawnguard. You can either choose the in Skyrim, there are people called the Dawnguard. They keep vampires and werewolves in check. You can choose to join the Dawnguard, where you get awesome armor, good weapons, spells, and everything. Or you can choose to become a vampire. But don't worry, you won't sparkle in the sunlight like in Twilight. If you choose the vampire, you will have high magic skills, and you're able to drink people's blood. But if you do it in broad daylight, they will attack you. But there's a way to do it easy. When someone's sleeping, you can easily sneak into the room and attack them there. So that way there's less fuss. If you happen to choose a werewolf, you will get high stamina, high attack, and you're pretty much immune to all diseases. But please note, if you're a werewolf, if anything silver touches you, you're pretty much dead. So I hope that I hope with all these points that you understand what Skyrim is. And if you happen to pick it up, whether it be PlayStation 4, Xbox, Switch, or in PC, I really hope that these points help you out. Thank you.
All right, Kimberly, what did you think?
So some of the things that I think could have been brushed up on a little bit more was clearly stating as far as what the game itself does entirely, rather than focusing more on the characters itself. Another thing was that the visual aids, I think they were good to bring out, an idea of what the game looks like, or maybe playing a little scene of what the game does would have been great. And even something as simple as turning off the lights could have enhanced your pictures.
Oh.
That's just some of the simple things that you could have done. I like that you're really knowledgeable about the characters and what they do, and explained a lot on that. But that's about it.
All right. I like the visualization in your attention device, and I like the energy with which you presented it. You identify the topic pretty clearly. Your goal is also clearly stated. There's not really a preview, but it appears that it's all going to be organized around the characters that you're describing. You start to tell us a little bit about the story of the game and what is accomplished, but then you stop doing that and you talk about the characters and what each of the individual, character personalities, types, can do, and that's interesting, except I don't know why they're doing any of those things. Is there a goal or objective that you are trying to achieve? If you choose one character, is there a way to win the game, or you just wander around doing things that character does? Is there a purpose or an objective for the different kinds of characters? You mentioned 3 different types, and then 2 more came up, so I got 5 character types that are going on. What's the goal or objective for each of those character types? Why is their interaction important? Are some of them preventing others from succeeding? Some of them assisting others in succeeding? I don't really get enough context of the story, which is probably, a valid thing to include, but it needs to be very brief, because there's no way that you can go into all the detail that's going to go on there. I appreciate your attempt to try and focus it and narrow it a little bit more. I think that helps kind of keep us from wandering too far afield. But I still need to know why I need to know about these particular characters. I'm going to echo Kimberly's comment about the visuals. I thought that the visuals are fine. They help structure the speech. They give us transition moments also. But turning off the lights would have made them a little bit more visible, and you needed a little bit of practice to get started. Obviously, you were having difficulty figuring out which button to push to move it forward, and that was a little bit awkward. But I think your delivery is generally solid. You maybe get a little stuck in a couple of places, but mostly you're talking to us, and I think that's exactly what you want to do, talk to us, and your energy and enthusiasm about the game comes through. That's, I think, the best part of your presentation. All right, thank you.